The weather has been kind of shitty over the last couple of weeks. It's been cold, it's been misty, it's been a little bit of, rain, and it's just that time of the year. The spring's coming, the rainy season is coming, but unfortunately hiking in this weather is not the best. I could do it, I've done it before, but the views and it's all gray and it's everything, you can't see anything. So instead I'm going to do something a little different. Today I'm headed to Jiangmen. Jiangmen is a very large city right next to Zhongshan. In fact, the city center is closer to where I am in Xiaolan than downtown Zhongshan. So it's within riding distance, but today I don't have a full battery charged, and this is kind of a last minute thing. We do have Ritz-Carltons in Guangdong, Four Seasons, and big giant resorts, but according to the internet, this is one of the nicest hotels in all of Guangdong, and I found a screaming deal for it for one night. So I'm gonna head over there and check it out and do a little walkabout of Jiangmen. I've been through Jiangmen on my way to Huifengshan, which is a big mountain that I went hiking at once, and that's in Xinhui, which is another town next to Jiangmen. But I've never really explored Jiangmen, and it's an actually bigger city than Zhongshan, and it's closer to me, so it's kind of a shame that I've been here for so long and I have not explored it. So I'm going to explore it a little bit today. Now, if I ride my bike down to Jiangmen, that's fine, but I'd have to charge the battery overnight to get back to Xiaolan. And I didn't want to hassle with that this time. The other great thing is it's pretty close. I mean, it's closer than downtown Zhongshan, as I said, so the train ride is only about 15 minutes, even though it takes you to the south side of Jiangmen, and my hotel's on the north side. It's still roughly about the same amount of travel time. If I rode my bike, take about an hour, and this way it takes about an hour. And the train is only 10 RMB each way. You can't beat that for price. Gets you there pretty quick too, so it's quite convenient. Now when I get to Jiangmen, I don't know how I'm going to get to the hotel yet. If I take a cab or just take city bus. I try to avoid taxi cabs. I just don't like them. They are convenient. When I'm in a rush, I'll grab one, but I prefer the city bus. I mean, it's only 2 RMB, and I've never explored Jiangmen before, so getting on a city bus, sitting in a window seat, and just seeing the city go by kind of gives you a little tour of the city. I do that often when I travel. When you buy a ticket for a high-speed rail, you can see how many second-class and first-class seats have been sold and how many are available. So if there's no one who bought a first-class seat and buy a second-class seat and go sit in the first-class lounge, it'll be empty, and you save a few bucks. No one checks it. So far, I have to say I'm rather impressed with Jiangmen. You know, they've got a very large, brand new fleet of electric buses, and they're clean and they're quiet, they're comfortable. Can't complain about that. I mean, when you drive down the street and you stop at a red light, it is dead silent on that bus. That is so nice compared to all the diesel buses you get in the West. More cities need to do this, I think. And Jiangmen actually has a pretty good reputation of having an excellent infrastructure. In fact, I think they've won like tons of awards nationally in China in terms of their infrastructure. The roads are wide, the road network is fantastic, and this is like I said, a bigger city than Zhongshan. And so far I'm very impressed. It's very green, lots of parks. This is a giant sports park on the north side of town. Very pretty. They've got tons of basketball courts. As you can see, just walking through the city is quite beautiful. That's the entrance to the park, and as you can see, that's a funky looking entrance. I think it's rather cool. I stumbled onto this little walking street kind of plaza behind the hotel. No shortage of shops and restaurants. I'll be well fed, that's for sure. There's a mall at the base of the hotel, Wanda Plaza, and it's got all the same shops I've got in Xiaolan. However, it's a much bigger city, and the shops aren't even that much bigger, but they're definitely much more selection. So I might do even some shopping, especially for gym clothes. It actually looks like they have some clothes that will fit me. So I'm excited for this. This is the Wuji Overseas Chinese Square. It's in the center of town. They've got an exhibition center and a museum. Jiangmen is famous for overseas Chinese, people who left China to start a life overseas, and many of them coming back. So this town has a lot of famous Chinese people that have made a life everywhere else. Now the weather's not perfect today, but just like many cities here in southern China, they have these beautiful rivers that crisscross the city that you can walk along. It's even more beautiful at night. In every major Chinese city that I have visited, there's usually two parts of the city. You have an old side and you have a new side. And right now I'm in the new side. So the avenues are giant. To access any of the buildings, you really need a car to go from one place to the other. I'm going for a walk, which is not the greatest walkabout. You know, you really can only see so much. Everything's backed away from the streets, and it's a long walk from one block to the next. So it's really made for cars. And then you have the old style of the city, which is more of a walking area. That's better for walkabout. Now, I don't know the city, so I'm getting to know it. So the next time I come here, and I will be coming here more often in the future, it's so close, and it's a shame that I haven't explored the city as much as I really want to. So the next time I come here, I'll stay in the older part of town, which has the beautiful parks and everything. This looks like every other modern Chinese city to me. It's not bad. I mean, it's still well laid out. The infrastructure's great. The streets are tree lined. Seems to be a very good police presence here too. But not having a car, it's not the best for me. Still, it's fine to go for a walk after a big lunch and work it off. Why not? It's a day off. So this is something you will see in a lot of Chinese shopping centers, malls, things like that, especially newer ones that haven't got all the tenants that they need to survive. You see, you got a Subway, Omega. There's even an Apple symbol there. There's a Puma. Those aren't real stores. They're just there to give the illusion that the mall is full, when in reality it's maybe only 20% occupied. I know these Chinese real estate companies, property managers, don't have permission to use those signs, but they do anyways because it's China. There's Nike over there, another Subway, Puma, Dior. These stores aren't in this mall. Entering in some of the older parts of the city now, much better for walking and exploring. There's people out and about shopping, all different kinds of shops along the roads, tea houses, coffee shops, restaurants, bakeries. Oh, the bakeries, they smell good. A couple of weeks ago I decided to eliminate sugar from my diet as much as possible, trying to be a little bit more healthy. Haven't given up on French fries, and I still enjoy a beer every now and then, but sugar will kill me faster than anything, I think. Being in China with all of the bakeries everywhere doesn't help. Yeah, you can tell it's the middle of the day on a weekday because I'm the youngest person out and about on the streets, other than the little children with their grandparents. And all the parks and all the shops, it's block after block of elderly playing mahjong. I
found this cool restaurant street. Check it out. All kinds of restaurants, a lot of Western restaurants too, including a California cuisine. I'm gonna try that, I think, tonight. Looks like a lot of fun, but it's a Tuesday night, so it's kind of dead tonight. But I do know some people here in this town that I work with, and I've met them before, but it's a little late and they're working tonight, so I'm not going to be able to hang out with them. But maybe next time, come here on a weekend and hang out. It looks like a fun town. That restaurant had pretty decent food, not bad. Everything on the menu had avocados. I know I'm a little Spanish, and I am from California, but I've never been a fan of avocados. So I kind of picked them out. I said no avocado, but they still put it on there on my salad. But all in all, not too bad. Pretty good. What a great town. I'm gonna have to explore this town some more in the future, so be on the lookout for that. One cool thing I did notice about this town is there's little hills and mountains and parks all over the place. You walk a block, there's another little mountain, and you can go for a little hike. So there's lots of places to explore, and it's famous for Zhongshan, which I have actually been to. Great hiking there, but that's a couple of miles away. But within the city, there's some great city parks too. So this town is very decent. It's very nice.